AITA for reporting my daughter's car missing after her stepbrother took it without permission? I got my daughter, 17, a new car 2 months ago. Her stepbrother, 19, has gone crazy about it ever since and has been attempting to drive it, but my daughter made it clear she doesn't want him to. He'd refer to it as our car and would get mad when my daughter decorates it with pink and add teddy bears and necklaces as decoration. He'd get angry and say that she was ruining their car and embarrassing in front of his friends. Although she never let him get inside of it, I asked my husband to talk to his son, but he said that my daughter and I need to chill. Fast forward to this past Friday. My daughter called me at work saying her stepbrother took her car while she was upstairs after he demanded the keys and she refused. I called his phone but he didn't respond. I called my husband and told him what happened. I told him that he needed to go bring the car back or I'd have to call the police. He called his son, then called me back saying his son was just taking it to go to the movies with his friends and will bring it back at 9 p.m. I couldn't wait. I wanted him one more time to bring it back, but he stalled. I called the police and reported it stolen. My stepson was picked up from his location and brought into the local police station. We got the car back, but it was a mess. The decorations and toys in it were gone. My daughter didn't stop crying about it. My husband blew up at me on the phone for calling the police on his son and causing him to spend the night there. They both came home the next day and a huge argument ensued with my husband saying I made a mistake reporting the car missing and said that I escalated this situation and that I was the one who created it and should have got his son a similar car or at least told my daughter to share. Otherwise we wouldn't be dealing with his son's temper tantrums. The house has been full of tension since then and everyone is just mad at each other's. I didn't want police involvement, but seeing my daughter cry I just couldn't take it. You're going to lose a lot of your daughter's respect if you keep her in this situation. They are both mentally abusive and way overstepping boundaries. NTA, the little brat did steal the car and needs to learn a lesson. By the sound of how his father is, it seems he was brought up to be a brat, so I doubt he'll change anytime soon. My husband saying that I was the one who created it and should have got his son a similar car. WTF? It's your fault and you're supposed to buy his bratty son a car? And he said this right after the son stole the car you bought your daughter? I can't help but think your husband and stepson are always this insufferable and this is not an isolated incident. NTA. You told your husband to get the car back or you'd call the police. He and his son ignored you. You called the police. No one should be surprised. Why doesn't your husband buy his son a car? It sounds like your finances are separated. Does the kid work, go to school, do anything responsible with his life? NTA. Nope. Guess what? When you are 19 years old and you take a car without permission, that is stealing and it is wrong morally and legally. You have a stepson problem, but you also have a husband problem. This adult son should have been shut down on day one by his father for acting like this was some kind of joint ownership car. It was not his. It is not his. If he wants a car, he can get a job and buy one or beg daddy for one. If daddy can't or won't provide, it is not your responsibility to provide for his deficiencies. This is a hill to die on. Because this will happen again if this 19-year-old man doesn't quit with his entitled behavior and keeps getting backed up by his father. NTA. I love when the husband says you should have either bought his son a car or told your daughter to share. I mean, or he could have just taught his son to not be entitled. NTA. You got your daughter a car and he didn't get his son one. End of story. If he thinks his kid deserves it, then he should have ponied up and got him a ride. Feels like quite the toxic environment. I'd up and out if I was you. The son is a grown man. Let daddy buy him a car. NTA. NTA. That car was stolen and vandalized. The son not returning the car upon demand was a violation of boundaries. But tearing down her decor on the inside for no good reason was spiteful and criminal. NTA. Your husband and stepson are creating a hostile environment by ignoring boundaries, taking personal property, and invalidating both you and your daughter's concerns and feelings. You could give your husband the chance to change his behavior and rein his son in by separating, taking your daughter and her car to a new place, and possibly your parent if they're willing to house you for a short while. You need to shut your husband down now. NTA. Both him and his son suck. NTA. Tell your husband not to interfere with how you parent your daughter and start paying more attention to his son. WHO just stole a car. If your husband's son wants a car, then your husband or his son can buy one. This dude is a walking plate of marinara. Heads up. You've now seen their true colors. This is weird. For the simple act of reporting the car stolen, when it was in fact stolen. NTA. For marrying and subjecting yourself and more importantly your daughter to the environment created by your husband and stepson. YTA. Get a divorce and get them as far away from your daughter as possible. NTA. And I wouldn't be surprised if your husband told him that it was fine and not to worry because you'd never call the police on him. NTA. And super concerning that your husband is condoning this behavior. Otherwise we wouldn't be dealing with his son's temper tantrums. Boom. He knew what would happen and feigned ignorance. NTA. That part about him only staying out till 9 p.m. was him trying to force a new boundary. You stood your ground and he faced the consequences. Good job. NTA. So, your stepson stole a car, threw out the owner's belongings, trashed it and landed his thieving ass in jail even though he knew he was busted and could have avoided being arrested? Is this right? And your husband thinks this is your fault for not bribing this punk not to rob your daughter? Wow. NTA. I'd press charges for him destroying her stuff too and seek a divorce. Wait, you should have bought his son a car? Why didn't he buy his son a car himself? NTA. NTA. He stole the car, and when you steal cars the police will come and put you in jail. Just because he is family doesn't mean he can take whatever he wants. NTA. You bought the car for your daughter. It's not like you and your husband went in on one car for your daughter and stepson. Your daughter has absolutely every right to deny the use of her property. And your stepson had it coming taking the car after she said no. Fuck what your husband and stepson are whining and crying about. And honestly I would divorce your husband seeing as he's literally taking his son's side after his son committed a literal felony upside down face.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.